Howdy swim fans, here with another episode of Whiteboard Wednesday, and on today's episode, we're talking about shaving. Yes, it's something that every competitive swimmer will have to face at some point in their life. Most of the time, you're gonna shave for a big taper competition. So this is something that you're putting a lot of focus on, and you're really looking at how you can maximize your performance in the pool. Now, it's really important that we understand that swimmers aren't the only people that shave their legs, or let alone their whole body. In fact, Men's Health has reported that 15% of all men in the United States regularly shave their legs, and 33% actually trim their legs on a regular basis. It's not just swimmers. Triathletes and competitive cyclists do it as well. A competitive cyclist will shave up to 1 to 2 times per week. Now, why would a swimmer or any of these other athletes shave their legs? Really quick, 2 main reasons. On the physical side, it's removing a layer of dead skin from your body. So it's not just shaving off the hair, but you're actually taking a layer of skin off of your body, which will then decrease the amount of drag that you have in the water, thus increasing your how hydrodynamic you are in the water. So because you're physically occupying less space, you're gonna be more streamlined, and that'll make you swim faster. We're not really sure how much. That will really depend on how hairy you are. And there aren't really many scientific studies about exactly how much faster it will make you. We do know it will make you faster, but the bigger piece of this is actually on the mental side. What's going on in your brain? On the mental side, because you're shaving off not just the hair, but a layer of dead skin, you're increasing your skin's sensitivity to the water. So because you're diving into a cold pool and you have a renewed sense of feeling in the water, you basically just feel better. It's really hard to explain if you've never done this before, but if you speak with any swimmer who's ever shaved their legs or any part of their body, they're gonna tell you that you get a new refined feeling in the water, and that's gonna help you swim a lot faster. Now let's get right into it. How do you shave? Now there's a few main steps, and try your best to follow along. Step number 1 is to plan ahead. The worst thing you can do is be unprepared for the shave. So normally you would shave the night before your competition. You might have to do it the day of or 2 days before, depending on your schedule. Ideally, it's the day before, and you need to prepare yourself. First of all, you're gonna need a bathroom. You're gonna need a bathroom with a sink and with a bathtub. So really try and focus. That might be your hotel pool, your Airbnb, depending on where you're staying. Maybe it's in your own house. You're gonna need clippers, and that means like an electric clipper so that you can trim before you actually shave. You're gonna need a razor, and ideally you're gonna have multiple razors because you wanna have a fresh razor when you start shaving. You're gonna need shaving cream, and you're gonna need some kind of skin moisturizer or rubbing alcohol to use after. That's sort of optional. And also Nair, so any kind of hair removal spray or lotions or things like that. That's an alternative way to remove the hair from your body, but you can't go wrong with a clean shave. So after you have all of your supplies and you're ready to actually get into the shave, you need to trim first. The worst thing that you can do is, if you're a hairy guy especially, is you just put shaving cream on and you start shaving right away with a razor. It's not gonna work. It's about 4 times as inefficient as if you use an electric razor, an electric clipper, and you start trimming your body, and you trim your body everywhere. So that's your legs, your arms, your chest, your back, everywhere that you plan on shaving with a razor, you need to make sure you trim so that way when you go across the hair with a razor, the razor is cutting just a fraction of the hair and can really get in and take out that dead layer of skin that we talked about. After you've trimmed, only now, you're ready to actually shave. So the key to shaving, a couple different schools of thought, definitely recommend you wet the area you're about to shave with water. You might be sitting on the edge of the bathtub or actually in the bathtub, so make sure you wet yourself first to really make your skin soft. So that way, when you apply the shaving cream, which is step number 2, you can apply the shaving cream and your leg or arm or wherever you're shaving is already soft and ready to have a razor hit it. Next is you actually shave with the razor. A couple of different schools of thought if you shave with the way your hair is growing or against. If you go against the way, you're gonna get a closer shave, but you might be prone to more ingrown hairs and you might cut yourself. The alternative is you go against, which is not gonna give you as good of a shave, but you're less likely to have the ingrown hair problems. One tip is to actually shave against your hair, and then on the way back you shave with, and that way it will eliminate step number 4, which is to rinse and repeat. So every time you do a stroke, you're going to need to rinse out the razor in water, so that way you have a clean razor approaching every stroke that you take while you're shaving. So after you shave, and actually it might be through the process, there might be parts of your body that you can't actually reach very well on your own. So parts might include, the back of your forearm, your lower back, your chest, your part of your back, and that's where it's really important to have a swim buddy or a helper if you need it. If it's the first time you're shaving and you're really hairy, this is probably more likely going to be you. If you're more experienced, you probably don't need someone to help you. It always helps, though, to have a swim buddy in the shave process. And after that, you can apply rubbing alcohol or a skin moisturizer, really so that your skin doesn't dry out. If you're a male especially, you're not used to shaving most likely, and so your skin is more susceptible to getting dried out, and that can be a pain when your hair starts growing back. So apply moisturizer so that way your skin is in good shape. Now, there are some tips. So once you've gotten the shave down, here are a few tips to keep in mind before you start this whole process. You want to make sure you have enough time. So allocate about 90 minutes. If you're more experienced, you can probably do it in less than 30 minutes, because remember, it's not just shaving. It's a multi-step process. You have to use the electric clippers to trim, then you're going to shave, you're going to do all parts of your body, you might need help, and then you need to use the skin moisturizer. So depending on how much all of that takes you, it could be an hour and a half, if not more, if it's your first time. Definitely recommend shaving your hands and feet, and that literally means like the palms of your hands and the bottom of your feet, because like we said, you want to remove that dead layer of skin and you want to increase your sensitivity. There's no better place to increase your sensitivity to the water than on your hand, which is where you apply the most pressure when you're actually swimming. Next up, make sure you stretch afterwards. Shaving can be like yoga. Your body's in a lot of weird different positions that you're probably not used to. So if you do some stretches, pretty simple, it'll not only calm your body down and stretch out anything that might have gotten tight while you're shaving, but also mentally get you ready for the next day of competition, which is probably the next day. And then you want to reshave if it's a multi-day meet. So if you're going to a competition that's prelims, finals, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or maybe it's a 8-day competition, most likely your hair is going to start growing back before the end of all of your races, and you might want to reshave before maybe a final or before a big day of competition that you have within the same event. And you definitely want to avoid shaving more than 2 or 3 times per year. Like we said, typically you're only going to shave at a really big competition, a championship meet. It's accompanied by a taper. So this is really a big focus for you, which is why you're shaving. And if you shave more than 2 or 3 times per year, you start to dilute the effect of this renewed feeling of speed. If you shave once a week, you're not really going to get the benefits of this new feeling of the new feel in the water, as we would say. So, hopefully this was useful in figuring out why people shave, how you can shave, and get the most out of it. And I would love to learn if you guys have any other tips on how you can shave. Good luck and happy shaving. Bye.